absolutely wonderful.
Nothing short of amazing.
The pieces that they put together are just really, amazing.
We've been coming since the beginning, so I enjoy all of the music and know all of the musicians, and so it's wonderful.
Well, actually, it starts back in when did we come here? 1998, when we moved into Bronxville. And we knew about the conservatory down the block. It's literally a block from our house. And went down there to check on the possibility of getting some private lessons or some kind of piano lessons for our oldest son, who was at that point 6, and ran into Kathleen Suss, and she knew who I was, and we started talking about the possibility of doing some music.
Well, it started really with the confluence of having Larry Dutton with his musical talent and Liz and their contacts, and Kathleen with her experience booking, and our passion about getting music for children and building the next generation of chamber music audience.
I think it was important to bring the music for our children so that they could hear it, and hopefully for the rest of the children in the community.
Kathleen really was the kind of the fire to make it happen, because she really made it happen.
And we found that we had the perfect venue with the Summer Center with the perfect acoustics. We had access to artists, and we had the desire to fund it, and that was the inception.
I think the Hoch Chamber Music Series has really brought world-class music that you'd normally expect to have to travel to New York or to Boston or another city into Westchester, into the local community, where it's accessible to people who may not have access to get down to the city, and also at a price really range where people that normally would have to spend a lot of money to go out and see classical music, and great world-class classical music, can see it in their own town.
The performances in the Hoch Chamber Music Series are world-class performances by world-class musicians and singers and performers. So to have that close to home is truly exciting.
For me, one of the most important things that has happened is that we have the possibility of doing different musical styles here. And that's been the whole mission of this series, is that we can offer classical chamber music and jazz. Jazz and also Broadway cabaret singing, and people, I think, really embrace that here.
Everybody says don't, everybody says don't, everybody says don't get out of line. When they say that, then, lady, that's a sign. 9 times out of 10, lady, you are doing just fine. Yes, I'll keep coming through, good as new, winner to the core, 'cause when I'm up a creek, I'm back for Jack and bouncing back for more. Since I laid my burdens down, my friends don't treat me like they
And the reason that can happen is because of my very dear friend John Patitucci, who can live in those two worlds. And people are not going to get that kind of concert in New York City. That kind of programming doesn't exist. We have a kind of a, what do we have? A copyright on that one, I think.
As a musician, it has been a great honor to have this wonderful opportunity to perform with like world-renowned musicians, and every time I had a rehearsal with them, every time I perform with them on the stage, I get inspired and motivated by their experience, and I learned a lot. It has been a great journey.
I was lucky enough to have Kathleen Suss ask me to perform this piano duo of mine on the Hoch Chamber Music Series in January 2010. And I performed it with George Francois.
It's great. The audience is great. The musicians that we collaborate with are obviously world class. It's a really, really great experience.
For a small institution like Concordia, one of the roles that we envision for ourselves is to serve a catalytic function within the community, to enrich its intellectual and cultural life. The Hoch series really plays into that objective. It really is a phenomenal way in which we are able to bring the community together to celebrate its interests and appreciation for music. Now, not only just any music, but quality music that is world class, that happens right in your backyard. And it isn't too many communities that can say that it can do that.
I just like the fact that it's intimate. It seems much more personal. It's just much more, you feel more involved with the music. You feel more in tune with it.
I feel like you don't get this type of performance anywhere else because it's so close. I've been in a big hall, way up in the nosebleeds, but this is an experience that is truly great, and that's why you should really come to the Chamber Music Series here.
And it was one of the great, acoustical spaces 16 miles from Manhattan, and so easy to get to, but also the acoustics. It's like another musical instrument, and it's very hard to find.
I feel that the one very special thing about this chamber music series is that the atmosphere between audience and performers is very intimate and very warm. And this is the feeling that you cannot find in any other concert series and venue, and this is very special.
The other thing about the Summer Center is that it can accommodate incredible amounts of stage seating, which is really fun and intimate for the audience. We had something like close to 200 people on the floor around us, and that's a wonderful experience because people hearing chamber music in close proximity are affected by it in a way that you can't get going to the bigger spaces in New York.
it's really fun because a lot of the times a lot of kids from different areas, since Concordia is in a central location, they can all come and meet each other and kind of see the music and get each other's opinions and look at it through different eyes, and I think that's a really great thing for kids to get.
To us, it's a great celebration of what happens here at Concordia, especially with the faculty being so talented and giving toward the students, and then they get to show that side of themselves as performers, and it's just great for all of us and the students to hear.
One of the great things about the Hoch Chamber Music Series is its varied performances. When I think of the audience that comes to see it, and especially the young people and the students at the conservatory and the students in the community, you never know what people are going to be inspired by. So there's a little bit of everything on these concerts. So my hope is that when students come and see these performances, they're inspired by at least one of the different genres, different performances that they see.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Come on now, wade in the water, wade in the water, children. In the water, God's gonna trouble the water.
I think for students, watching performers do their thing to this level is instrumental, because ultimately what we want the students to do is perform. Watching the best in the world do this, I think, is such a vital part of the education of the students here at Concordia.
Larry and Liz are so energetic, so talented and enthusiastic, and they are passionate about bringing music to the youth of our community.
You know, it's everybody from the kids that study at the conservatory to the students at Concordia to the faculty to the community. And in the last few years, it's even been some people coming in from outside the community. We've had people come in from New York and from Greater Westchester have come to hear the concerts.
For me, it's seeing the families who are really drawn closer together by this experience. I'm hoping that there are children who've grown up with this series who will want to raise their own children with music this way, who will remember fondly the tradition of going to these concerts as a family, and that means a great deal to me.
Oh gosh, just getting to listen to great music and watch it being performed live, and just sharing the experience with friends and family too. It's great.
Oh, we're very excited about the future. I think we'll always stay to our 3 concerts a year, but we intend to be stronger and stronger in the draw of the artists that we're bringing. And we're excited because the artists that we've had perform in the past are now talking it up to other performers. So we have already actively begun planning for next year, but I can't tell you those names.
Oh yeah, if you can get them interested in coming back and interested in having played one of these concerts, that's a great thing. I mean, that's what you look for.
We've been told by the performers that they love our format that the opportunity to interact with other genres within the live music is really appealing to them, and that they love the attentiveness of our audience and the small venue.
So I really think the sky's the limit in terms of possibilities of artists to come play at the Hoch Chamber Music Series for the variety of music that could be played.
What I hope to see is that the people will continue to support what Jim and Mary have started, and if you want to bring in world-class musicians, it takes a great deal of financing. What we'd like to see is that this becomes such an important venue that people will want to come here.